joining us today. As above, so below, we're talking about Sagittarian energy. Teaching every one of you guys. First of all, Sagittarius to my Madrina, to my Gino, to my Opa, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjax. Teaching every one of you guys that follow this particular live, we talk about black issues regarding black people, and regarding real magic, conjure, mysticism, and manifestation. Teaching every one of you guys. First of all, I want to say, say teachers of my air signs, my water signs, my earth signs. What's up, Calvina? Cancer in the house. Teaching every one of you guys. Apostle Ela, thank you for your continued support. What's up, Tree Rhonda Aries in the house? What's up, my Boaz on this afternoon? What's up, Boaz? What's up, Demetrius? What's up, each and every one of you guys? Thank you so much for being a part of this platform, and also definitely as above, so below. We're talking about Sagittarian energy, and one of the things that I want to talk about on today is tolerance for self. Making sure that you are out here actually endeavoring to tolerate your energy, your vibration, your frequency. I believe that a lot of people are still struggling with the idea of accepting themselves, and that does hinder you from being able to manifest on certain levels and certain things. Thank you so much for each and every one of you. What's up, my Ryan? My Ryan, my and my Virgo in the house. What's up, Mama Susan in the house? Thank you so much for each and every one of you guys for chiming in. Apostle Eda is doing a lot better. I'm still recovering. One of the things I want to get on here to do and to share is energy, frequency, and vibration, and how to put yourself in better situations and circumstances. And it has a lot to do with tolerance. Tolerance of your own ideas, tolerance of your beliefs, tolerance of the things that you deem necessary in order to go to the next level. Now, I understand that there are people out here that you're satisfied, or you come across satisfied. Thank you for hitting that like button. You come in saying that you're satisfied, but when you look around and you look at what is going on in your life, a lot of times you can make changes based off of doing what. What's up, my Ryan? Thank you so much. Yes, I am. I'm putting the time in, the effort in, into getting better and recovering strongly and slowly. One of the things I want to do and share with many of you guys with this energy, I talked about yesterday, destiny, and I'm also talking about tolerance on today, because it is important to be able to tolerate yourself rather than tolerating other people. Trying to assimilate yourself with other people, places, and things. One of the things that we try to do on this particular live and for this tribe is to get people to understand why it is important to understand what you want to do, what reality you want to live in. One of the things I've been doing, praying and manifesting for my quality of life, and to put myself in better position in order to get certain outcomes and results. I want to say to each and every one of you guys that have been sending out love, light, and healing, thank you so much. Much felt, much received. Also to all of you that have encouraged me in the process of what I'm going through. This is some of the things that I try to tell people, that when you are really out here living this thing called life, in spirituality. There's things that you have to endure. There's things that you have to process and then recuperate behind it. One of the things that I have done for myself over the years is try to put myself in the strongest position possible when I have to go through something, when I have to weather a storm, when I have to actually deal with some things that may not turn around right away. And a lot of times, what I try to express to people when you're melanated is that you're so connected with Mother Earth and Father Sky that you are a microcosm of this universe. And so it's important about what's going on the inside. Thank you. It is really, really important that you understand what's going on in your own mind, your own emotions, the things that you're endeavoring to do. Um, One of the things that I'm going to be doing today, besides a consultation, is to put myself in a better mental state. What's up, my crab cakes in the house? Monique 444. It is truly a blessing to not only recover well, but recover strong, and to recover in a way that you suffer no loss. One of the things that I've been doing is doing a whole lot of meditation and burning my incense. Um, I've been eating more than I have been lately. Thanks to my sister and my mom. My mom still can't cook, but my sister here, um, Sister Triana, been making sure I receive certain things. Um, I'm very, very happy where I am right now. I'm very happy with my numbers. Um, Thank you, Demetrius. Any questions? This is the Montine channel. Um, there's a time in your life that you have to consider of how to weather your storm. And a lot of times people don't have or have afforded themselves opportunity to sit the storm out. Um, there's things in this thing called Sagittarian energy. It's about ambition. It's about growth. It's about being able to walk on the edge of the mountains, having balance, constantly climbing to the top. One of the things that I want to say to my melanated people that are out here and endeavoring to do magic, um, I really, really encourage you to really know that this is something you want to do. Being fully committed in your heart and mind and your soul. Um, Being somebody that is proactive. I always encourage this. There's a reason being because at the end of the day, if you're always reactive to things, then what happens is you find yourself in situations and circumstances. You are looking so much better. Yes, I am. As the days go on, it's getting better in a very short time. And I want to say from where I was to where I am now, it's 180. degree turn. Um, how I feel, um, where my state of mind is, the things that I have need of. I encourage you to like, and I've said this oftentimes to various of saints. It's different when you are in that chair. It's different when you're the one in that situation. A lot of people try to encourage people that they never went down those avenues. They've never dealt with those type of things. And one thing that I've learned as a Sagittarius is that I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly experiencing things to get the wisdom and the nectar out of that. One of the things that I've learned through this situation is I want to say this. I thank God for how I was raised. Always thinking about tomorrow, and tomorrow is not promised. And that type of mindset, always trying to be in a position. And now that I'm where I am and able to recover, I can recover without stress. I can recover without anxiety. I can recover without worrying about how the bills are going to get paid. I can recover without economic fears. And this is some of the things that I told you guys about road openers. This is some of the things I told you guys about Blockbuster. This is what I told you about Bayberry candles, bitterness candles. When that energy is needed that you have put out in the universe, it's gonna come back to roost. A lot of the incense burns, creating the atmosphere. When things happen in your life, that's when you realize, okay, that's why I was burning the ancestor incense. That's why I was burning the guardian angel incense. That's why I was burning my healing incense or my prosperity or money blessing. These things set up energy for you to pull on at a later time. And this is so important that when you're going through, what's up, my storm and my Sagittarius from Detroit? These are all the things that you build up. I know a lot of times in the church world, we talk about building up our kingdom in heaven, the kingdom within, the things that you're burning, the things that you're praying, the things that you're. A lot of times we think that stuff is for right now. Those prayers are not for right now. Those affirmations are not for right now. Those affirmations and that energy is stored up. When you need it, it comes in. When you have a need for your ancestors to step in, they have the proper energy, the Ache, the Chi, the Prana, all you guys that got your candle burnings with the cauldrons, got your incense burnings with the cauldron. This is all built up energy in store for your name. A lot of times, I would like to say to people that really trying to understand how manifestation happens, you don't pray for now. You pray for what's to come. And what I have been noticing, that I have been more prepared for the things that are happening than I thought. I was having such situations going on, and I realized how much ahead of the ball I was. And I try to encourage many of you guys, when you get opportunities, business, all of you that have businesses, do not let your business go. Your business feeds off your energy, your frequency, your vibration. Um, my mom used to say the thing all the time, and I say it again. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. It's not easy. It's just worth it. Um, I'm a living example of how things can work out for your good, how things can work out in your behalf, and how things can work out in your favor. And to encourage people that, and I've said this too, if you've never been burned, you can't tell somebody how to deal and cope with burning. If you have never fallen, you can't encourage somebody that has fallen. What you have to do is start understanding that you have to face your situations, face your fears, face your traumas, face them with an understanding that you're setting yourself up for greater manifestation. I've said this before. A lot of people get into the ATR's African tradition, not realizing it's an invisible world. And these spirits are constantly watching, observing, hearing, taking notes, recording of how we function, how we encounter our daily situation, daily lives. Um, One of the things that I want to constantly be on cue is that I want you to see consistency. I want you to see what it looks like to be dedicated. I want you to see what it looks like when you're faced with adversity. And when I say adversity, I'm talking about when you don't understand what's going on, you don't know what's going on. And this is why I'm very, very big on leaning not to my own understanding. When I don't understand stuff, I don't try to pretend I do. What I do is I intercede. One of the things that I want to share on tonight is about tolerance. Tolerance for self. Tolerance for your own understanding. And the Bible said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Know why you need understanding. Don't just say I won't understand it. Know why you need it. Know why you need wisdom. Um, Living in this life, you're gonna learn it is more better to listen, to learn, to see the examples set before you, and then when you endeavor to go and follow those particular steps, you understand what it really takes to be head of household. What it really takes. What's up, Jeremy? What it really takes to be a leader. What it really takes. Let me tell y'all something. It is so easy to get out here and to put on a facade. When I say easy, I'm talking about super easy, because very few people are really going through the process. Very few people. What's up, Shamari? Sasha Fierce in the house. Very few people um, have really gone through fiery trials. They're going through situations that he or she may cause, but these are the things that above a light bill, a water bill, a rent, or mortgage. These are things that we have to embrace when it comes down to our society, the things that we encounter outside of ourselves, and also being in a place that you can encourage people out of example. One of the things that I love about what we do on this platform is that people are able to speak from their personal experience. People are able to speak from a mindset of understanding, okay, I really need to change this, or looking at their pattern and saying, you know what, I got to break this pattern and create another pattern. Um, it has really, really, really been a ride for me, especially in my 50s. I've had to go through the process. I've always been a person that God heals divinely, and going through these various situations. Um, I'm a miracle worker, but I don't recreate blood. And I say that because there's certain type of medical procedures that have to be done in order for us to get to certain places. I do realize that. I still am very apprehensive when it comes down to the medical industry, because anytime a dollar bill is something that is more important to you, then people deem to suffer. And so I believe that this is the opportunity for a lot of you guys to understand that there are certain things that you need to take care of before it ever gets out of control. When I tell you about your age brackets, whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, all of these are going to impact your life. Um, Depending on how well you're taking care of yourself, will determine what your probabilities are. And that's one of the things that my doctors all all are in agreement with, because of my numbers and because how well I've been taking care of myself, of me coming out of this situation even quicker and more solid than I was before. And I say all of that to say this: anything that I share on this platform to melanated people, I use. I encourage you to invest in your health. I encourage you to invest in your education. I encourage you to invest in your business. I encourage you to invest in the things that are important to you, not important to other people. And that's also another important thing. If you're going to continue down the track of just having a job, you're going to always find yourself in financial situations. Creating business, creating opportunities for yourself, for your family, is the way to go. Is it easy? Is it worth it? I have been at this since 2001 with my ministry. I've been at this um, with my job since 1995. I was taught from my spiritual dad and different people about growing wealth over time, growing wealth over a particular time. There's sometimes when I was, especially in my early 20s, I could not save like I saved say when I got older. But you have to start somewhere. You have to put the seed in the ground, so to speak. You have to understand that Saturn is the energy that is a rewarder of them that diligently seek. If you are putting the work in, and I say this loosely, each and every one of you, if you are putting the work in, payday is coming after a while. If you are still trying to figure out how to get out of working, you're going to be in a lot of situations and circumstances. One of the things I want to talk about also, when I was talking about man is born unto trouble, and I really want to talk about troubleshooting. And what I mean by troubleshooting is that you have to understand where trouble comes in. You have to understand who brought trouble, why they're when you whether it's financial trouble, relationship trouble, family trouble, job trouble, it don't matter. You have to learn how to troubleshoot. You got to take out time to figure out where is this troubling coming from. Now, there are certain things in life you are born to have trouble. But there are other things that because you are yoked with people or you're associated with people that keep bringing trouble in your life and you're not troubleshooting, therefore you don't really realize when and how to get rid of. See, Saturn is about banishing, but you can't banish what you don't understand. You can't get rid of what you don't understand. And one of the things that I try to do is when I'm going through something is I try to troubleshoot. And a part of that troubleshooting is making sure I have a better understanding or clarity about what's going on. That is so important. That is so essential. Hey, who is that? Is that Marley? Yeah. So it's important that while you listen, you learn, you understand how to troubleshoot. You look at your situation and figure out why you keep ending up in these particular results. How you end up ending up in these particular outcomes. And taking our time to actually find out. Just like if you call a support hotline to troubleshoot for your internet or anything like that, you have to spend time, energy, and resources in finding out where's the trouble coming from. And once you locate the trouble, then you resolve the issue. You don't continue of dealing with trouble water, so to speak. I'm trying to be very if you want to see things better, if you want to see things grow, if you want to see things manifest, you want to see the reward of the Lord, then you're going to have to respect Saturn. A lot of people don't want to deal with that particular energy that particular frequency, that particular vibration. But it's a part of this spiritual journey. It's a part of this life to be living. You got it? You fit to go? All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. My sister Lee. Let me tell y'all something. This has been a truly learning experience from the aspect of making sure that God is moving your life, making sure that you have the proper energy, chi, trying to store it up. Now that's love. I appreciate that you appreciate it. I just think that a lot of times that when we get on social media and then we're going through situation and circumstances, a lot of us don't know how to keep the pace up, or we don't know how to forge through. We don't know how to overcome what's been set before us. Um, it's really, really important that if you're gonna grow, develop, increase, that's good, that you start paying attention to the reality, not only by which you're living, but you're interacting with other people. Um, I'm really um, dumbfounded of how good God has been. Very thankful, but noticing all the changes that have been brought in my life. How people have been showing up and showing their own personal sacrifice, their own personal love um, to support me in this time. I want to encourage anybody that is out here. It's something else. Um, I've really had to lock in, express, and declare a lot of things in order to be where I am right now. Um, I've had to fight through being up 4 day in the morning and fighting through pain, discomfort, um, and then seeing the results of that, those affirmations, those declarations. Um, If you have never had to weather a storm on your own, if you have never been a leader or elder, head of household, a person very independent or responsible, you have no idea what it is to maintain your posture, mind, also your emotional state during those times. Um, Storms come when they come. Sometimes it comes in the midnight hour, sometimes the afternoon, sometimes late in the evening. But when your storm comes, I encourage you, my brother and my sister, to have your tools. To have your tools. A lot of people gonna get caught out here without the tools. Tools that are available, tools that are necessary, um, tools that are constantly preached, teach, exhibited, made available to the public, especially Black American people. Um, if you want to see a change, if you want to have certain outcomes, you have to put the work in. You have to apply yourself. And the best thing I tell people is that you can't be doing it for other people. You can't do any of this. Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, Ajay, Christianity, Islam. It has to be a personal journey because it's going to be very, very personal. Um, Tolerance for yourself, yeah. Tolerating other people, no. You have to make a clear indication what you want, what you desire, what's necessary, what's authentic. When it comes to spirituality, I've always been serious about that. Because Saturn sits in my house of Sagittarius, and plus my destiny star is Capricorn. So I've always been serious about my spirituality. I try to encourage people that if they want change, if they want transformation, if they want ambition, they want to climb, you want to go beyond that box that you're living in. You have to put the energy in. When you hear them say energy out, energy in, it's you have to put the necessary energy, not the energy you want to put, the necessary energy that is necessary, which means for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. You got to meet that energy of that frequency, whatever it is, whether it's extraterrestrial, whether it's celestial, whether it's terrestrial in nature. You have to meet air energy, earth energy, water energy, fire energy. You got to meet the energy. And you got to respect it. I find a lot of people treat spirits like slaves. The downfall to that is that you end up becoming the slave that you're seeking. You're playing a part in a microcosm. You're playing a part in a universal timeline. You're playing a part in manifestation, whether it's how we interlink or how we interact. Um, I believe that a lot of people that follow me resonated with me, and that's why they're sticking with me. I believe that people that are just out here lurking and searching, um, if I can give you any advice, the sooner you get away from cherry picking, the better off you're gonna be. When you get away from cherry picking, what that means is you have different strokes from different folks. Um, One day they're saying something you want to hear, the next minute you are in disagreement. One thing about the truth, it don't change. Energy don't lie, and the spirits don't lie. And one of the things that I try to tell people um, that have brought me through is my dedication. I am definitely dedicated to the spirits. I am definitely trusting the spirits. I am definitely leaning not to my own understanding. In all my ways acknowledging divine. That divine would direct my path. And no matter, and I really can say this because I live a charmed life. I can really say no matter what I went through, I've always come out on top. No matter how much misunderstanding. Um, when I went into the hospital, my hemoglobin was at a 2.6, and they were still astonished that I was able to carry out a conversation. At the time, what's going on? I didn't know why they kept asking me the question. Do you know where you are? Just making sure I was coherent. And I would say, yeah, I know where I'm at. Blah blah blah. What's your name? Blah blah. Who's the president? You know, they're asking me this question, but they're basing those questions off of my numbers. But I was protected by the divine, kept by the divine. And I want to say this: if this is not your journey, if this is not ancestors calling you to this is not a profession for you to be picking up. This is not something you do when you feel like it. This is not something you do when you want to make some extra money. This is not something you do when you see a trend going on. This is an everyday life living situation. And one thing about my mom, my family, they know how invested I am in my spirituality. People see, people watch, whether they understand what they're watching or not. But they respect when that's the life you chose to live. And to see how God is moving for you, with you, in your behalf, in your favor. Even my sister said today, she said, oh my God, you look so much better. I just been watching God raise me up. I've been watching God move for me. I've been watching God manifest for me. I've been watching God um, put things in perspective for me. My brothers and my sisters on this platform, dedication, commitment, and like my mother always said, it's best to have a tool and not need it than need it and not have it. A lot of the old proverbs and the things that we have said over through the years, that stuff come back to roost. If you make your bed hard, you the one got to sleep in it. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. Um, hard head make us soft behind. Um, these are all essentials. If you don't prepare, if you're not trying to get yourself in a position, especially if you're single, if you don't have a relationship, that's the time to dig in. That's the time to make sure that you're getting the things that you need. Um, that you're not so easily distracted by a relationship or children. Because even when you got kids, you're gonna have a tendency to focus on the needs of those kids out of just being a parent. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to tolerate yourself. You have to make room for yourself. You have to make room for your gift, your energy, your frequency, your vibration, and also the what you aspire to be or to become. Um, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. Um, I'm very appreciative because things could have turned out a lot different than what they did. Um, and that's usually the story of my testimony. God always working things for my good. I want to say this to you. If you have already invested in your X39, I don't put nothing out that I don't use. This is some good stuff. These patches, black sea oil, oil of oregano, aged garlic, um, black wormwood, yeah, wormwood, black walnut, and clove. There are so many nutrients that are out here that are going to give our systems a fighting chance. I would say to actually my doctor, because he kept his word. I have very little trust when it comes to medical people for good reason. But when a doctor keeps his word, I take that to account. And he has been true to what he said. And so I'm also reaping the benefits of that too. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, um, please give yourself an opportunity to be an air sign, to be a water sign, to be an earth sign, to be a fire sign. Eventually, you're going to see how significant that is in your life. Understand your energy, whether you step in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, being able to understand your own Ache, being able to understand your ancestral energy, giving them the proper assets to grow and to develop you. That's what I mean by tolerance for yourself. You can't be saying out here that you want better and you keep investing the same way. Start I heard TD Jakes say this. So where you going? I know we hear sowing abundantly, but when you have a mindset that you don't have enough, then you don't understand different meanings. The widow's mite, she gave all she had. The Pharisees and Sadducees felt like they had gave more than her, but she gave out of all she had. They gave out of their abundance. So depending on where you are in this thing, it causes certain energy to fall in your behalf, in your favor, to meet your needs. Um, I like the fact that I have been doing so much, so much better. Um, and just watching God's spirit move in my behalf. Divine Mother, Divine Father, Orgon Energy. You got to know how to hold on and see what the end gonna be. A lot of people will say hold on, but it takes something to hold on. It takes something to hold on to your beliefs, your the things that you desire. Because it takes a lot of strength. My mom often say this: if it was easy, everybody be doing it. It's gonna take a lot of us getting out of our comfort zone to come into a reality that is gonna make a lot of more sense than the reality you're living in. Right now, I can only say so much because at the end of the day, a certain man, you gotta want this. You gotta come get this. It reminds me of the movie Dracula, when he had to climb that mountain to go into the cave of Dracula. And he said, sometimes the world don't need a hero. Sometimes they need a monster. You're gonna have to show your grit. You're gonna show your muscle. Um, it's not what the church world has taught us. It's not even what the people are teaching you in EFA. There's a lot to manifest and to be a manifester in these days and times, in spite of what you're going through. It is extraordinary. I want to thank you for your time, your love. Thank you for the taps and the love. Um, I hope I said something that continuously to make Black American melanated people think, understand the soberness of spirituality and the realness of spirituality, and understanding what it takes in order to bring change. Talking about it ain't gonna get it. Complaining about it, cussing about it, ain't gonna get it. You, sir and ma'am, gonna have to put the work in. And if that's not something you trying to do, then it's not gonna manifest. I don't care how initiation you got. I don't care whether you initiate or not. It take work. And work is acknowledged. Energy, frequency, and vibration. All right? Thank you for your time. I'll see y'all later on tomorrow. God bless. All right?